Hello, welcome back to another video. This one is going to be jumping back towards my my main story, if you like, the Oddysey. Are you still holding stones? Chuck it down. Oh no, actually skimming stone. You want to save that for later? All right. You want to save that for the little lake, right? Cool. So yeah, we're back to the Oddysey. Wind's picking up, and this one I'm going to be talking about my first steps back into the acting game, the first kind of things I did when I got back. So, got the laddo, obviously, you've already heard him, say hi.
Hello.
You are getting zestier every time you say that.
Is that zesty?
Well, maybe a zesty Obi-Wan. Okay, we shall say nothing about that and move swiftly on. And yeah, that's staying in, by the way. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. The laddo's got questions. Let's go.
What was the first thing you did when you got back into acting?
Well, one of the first things I did. Oh, I just realised where I am. I know this path. Yeah, we're heading back towards car park.
Right place.
Yeah, we are.
Oh yeah, I know where we are now as well.
So, but one of the first things I did was try to start looking for work. You know, I didn't really know what I was doing or where to go. And actually, one of the very first things I did, I jumped on a site which I'd used in the past. I'll talk about this website and others potentially in more detail later on. But this one is a site called Star Now, and I found a job on there working as an extra sort of thing. And I think it was over towards Norwich, if I remember right. And I think it was a student piece, and it's called Set Me Free. It was a 2-part kind of film. And I was in like a media office. Just, you get to see my head for like 3 seconds, you know. But that was the first kind of job I got back into the acting game, so to speak. What did I do after that?
So awkward.
No, that stuff came much later on. I actually found... Now, which way around did this go? I found myself actually an agent out of Liverpool. And I wasn't totally clued in at the time. I thought like, oh great, I've landed an agent. This is incredible. Like, based off that I essentially only got my college stuff and school stuff behind me. And I was kind of blown away. It took me a while to realise that her style, because I didn't do all of my due diligence at the time. It was just primarily like pointing towards extra work, which is a whole thing, and extra work can be great. Like, it's a lot of fun, but it's not acting. You know, it doesn't scratch the itch. Other than that, I also got another student short film piece, which was that name completely escaped me then for a second, even though I've already been talking to you about it. It was called No Sleep for Us, and that was a student short from a student out of Staffordshire University, Jordan Mountford. How you doing, Jordan? I've seen you liking some of these videos, so if you get to see this, hope you're doing well, dude. And it was really a really great piece. I'll pop a link somewhere down below. So it was based on a soldier who had basically deserted his post and gone on the run, yeah? And he comes across another soldier who's essentially doing the same kind of thing. and he's struggling with the bombs going off, the shells and stuff. He's dealing with that traumatic stress of seeing these and hearing these things going off in his mind all the time, even when there's nothing really going on around him in where he is. You know, he's so heavily traumatized. We got to dress up in authentic, like, World War II gear, and at the end of it, well, I won't ruin the surprise. Go and watch it, and I don't want to ruin the ending, but it was a cool piece. I really enjoyed myself doing that. What else have we got points wise?
Holly Wokes.
Holly Wokes. Oh, we're talking the extra work.
Holly Wokes, responder, so walk.
Yeah, so a large portion of my time, I say a large portion, actually, it's less of a portion than what I've been doing now. For about 2.5 to 3 years, I did extra work, and that was a hell of a lot of fun. When you do these things, you get to meet some great people. You get well taken care of on set. You get fed. The pay is great for what you have to do, which is essentially wait around most of the day until you are called for the scene, and then you just walk in the background or do whatever they need you to do, and that's it, you know. But I got the opportunity to do a few different things. Several jobs came up for Hollyoaks, and one of the first jobs I did was the storyline of Steve Hay, who was played by, I think, Kieran Richardson, I think his name is. He was playing when he kind of like got, what's the term? He became a bit of an extremist. He was radicalized, and there was a group of people rampaging through the village causing destruction, and not that, but the day itself being the first job I'd done as an extra on set was or is a really good memory for me. I remember being in the group early morning. We was out by the archway, probably 8ish, 8:15 in the morning, ready for shooting, and the sun was just coming up over the top of the back end of the village. There was a little rubbing out, like it was brilliant, and also got to meet a couple of people. One person I met that morning was a chap called Trevor A. Oh, what is his name? It's something like Saints, True Saints, I think. Two Saints. It's I believe that name is French, and it equates to All Saints. He played Walter Devereaux, I believe, in the show, and we was all dressed up in like outside of makeup and costume and stuff, and we was all getting ready, and he was coming down the hallway to go to, I guess, the green room and stuff like that to get prepared for his day, and he took the time to stop and talk to pretty much every single one of us, you know, asked us how we were, you know, what we do, what we doing, sort of thing. Just had a conversation with us, you know, and I was just kind of like touched by that in a way, because, you know, you got someone who's, you know, an actor who's very much higher, you know, in the rank of things, and he could have just walked straight by and just, you know, a nod and hello or whatever, but the fact that he took the time to just stop and talk to us all, I thought was just really lovely. So yeah, I did several things with Hollyoaks. I got to do work on an episode of Tin Star. I think that was Sky Atlantic, I think, for that show. That was pretty cool. I am a lot. I'm trying to cut that out, by the way, because it's really annoying me. I can't imagine what it must be doing for you guys. I did a show. I played an extra in The Irregulars, which was a show for Netflix. That was The Irregulars is a group of people that worked. Well, not worked as such. Lived in London. And it's straight out of Sherlock Holmes. That was an underground fight scene, and we spent the entire day under the Liverpool aqueducts, and it was all laid out in set, and that was another really cool day. Just seeing these two trained fighters just go at it all day long, you know. And this is the thing: you do all these scenes, and you spend a day on them or half a day. And it's for a 30-second clip. Yeah. You know, an entire day for maybe a minute or two. Yeah. It's crazy, but it's a lot of fun. What else have I done? I worked also as an extra on The Responder. We're nearly back, so we'll go around to the bench. Yeah, I worked as an extra on The Responder, which was with Martin Freeman, and I played a bit of a heavy guy in that. The guy I got to share a scene with and watch him work, I think I was meant to be one of his sons or one of his boys. What is his name? Hill? Have I got it written down?
Dave Hill.
Dave Hill. That was watching that man work was a pleasure. Unfortunately, there was a scene where I was in shot behind one of the actors. I was meant to be one of the intimidating guys. I guess I didn't look intimidating enough because they blurred the background. So, you know, I hope I wasn't ruining the shot, but most likely it's just the direction they wanted to take, you know, just made the whole scene look better. Because, you know, that happens quite a bit. You could be doing a job and you could spend all day, yeah, and then the episode comes out or whatever, and you're not there. Yeah. You're not on it. Because they've decided to cut it, you know. Who is it tracking right now? Is it tracking me or you? It is me, okay. So, you know, that happens. Because that kind of happened, well, not kind of, it did. So, last year I got to do, was it last year or 2 years ago now? I worked as an extra for Better Man, which was the Robbie Williams kind of film documentary, you know, and we spent most of the day there on set. And how the Transformer Street, by the way, was incredible, because it's the street today is obviously very, very modern, and it looked nothing like how it was on the day. It was completely different. They remodeled it with all their, you know, clever computer work, CGI and stuff, but the only bit you see of me on that is a bald spot on my head from a drone that was 100 feet, a couple of 100 feet up in the air or something. Even though there was many cameras round, you know, filming all sorts of angles, that's the only bit you get. But, you know, you're not the star when you're doing extra work. Your job is just to make it feel like it's a lived space, it's a real world. You know, you don't act when you're an extra. You just do what you would do day to day. You know, walking down the street, You know, you don't give any great big
Yeah.
sway or whatever going on, because we're just like, dude, what are you doing? Okay, thank you. Well, I think you're done for the day.
Yeah.
You know, you just gotta get on about it like it was just living your life sort of thing. Have we got any other questions on there?
Got a few.
We got a few.
Yeah.
I've just been talking for ages. Sorry, guys.
Did you enjoy your time doing extra work?
Well, I think I've given my idea. Yes, yeah, I did. It was great fun. A lot of fun doing extra work. Like I say, you spend a day out, sometimes a couple of days on different scenes, and like I say, you meet great people. You get fed, fed, watered, and you get a good little pay from it at the end. You can't complain really. So yeah. Did I miss out any pieces I did, by the way?
You did.
I did.
So awkward.
Oh, so awkward. Yeah. I got to work alongside Alex.
No.
No, was it? No. Carter. Yeah. Alex Carter. I got to work alongside him. He was actually in Hollyoaks for a while as well, I believe. A good number of years ago. He plays a teacher in So Awkward. But the scene I was in, I accidentally delivered a student.
Yeah.
Alex's character was like waiting for some vinyls, some records to be delivered, and the kids were playing a prank or something, and they swapped the boxes out, and the kid pops out, and it like makes me jump, and like scares me, and all you see is me just falling backwards off screen. I've got a map behind me.
And you're like,
yeah. But it was a really awkward angle because I had to do it so awkwardly because I was going down and my legs were coming up like into shot. Into shot, you just see my feet coming up, and I was like, you're doing great, but when you go down, do you think you could like just be a little bit more rigid and just like keep your legs down? So yeah, that was a fun one to do. Anything else?
What was the biggest insight you got from it?
What's the biggest insight? I think just seeing what goes on behind the scenes, in a production, just how much, mind that mess, dude. Just, the amount of work that goes into the sets, the amount of personnel, the amount of equipment, and you're there on a very, very, very small part of it. So you get to observe a lot of this, and it's no small operation. It's massive. So to see that side and get an idea and a feel for it, and understand it, seeing it and what have you, was a really big insight. It was a cool insight.
Would you advise people? What would you advise people working on set as an extra?
I think similar to what I just said back there a moment ago is, don't try and act. Don't try and do anything more than what you need to do. If you're walking down the street in the background while the camera is on somebody, one of the actors, don't try and make yourself stand out. You're just there to make the scene look real, to look lived in and stuff like that. So don't try and steal the scene or anything like that, because you'll just be asked to leave and you wouldn't get picked up again.
That's everything from me.
That's everything from you. Okay. Well, I would absolutely recommend 100% extra work as a starting point. It gives you a good viewpoint into acting, into what goes on behind the scenes. Gives you an appreciation and an understanding. So if you're looking to get into acting, definitely consider doing some extra stuff. It's really good. Ultimately for me, it doesn't scratch the itch, as I've said before. So that's why I've moved away from the extra, trying to focus on pushing myself forward to get into more mainstream acting. But yeah, I think with that then, I'll bring this video to an end. Thanks again for spending some time with us here today. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you drop all your likes, your comments, your suggestions, and questions and all that good jazz. Like and share and all that. And have a great rest of your day. Okay, I'll see you soon. Take care.